Hello fellow lovers of the liminal and weird, and welcome to another video by Liminal Spaces. Today I'm going to continue my science fiction library tour, and we're going to be going over titles that I have in the letter E. And for this one, I actually just pulled every book I have. There's not a lot of E's in science fiction. In fact, I bet you can guess already what artist I'm going to be talking about the most in this video. And we'll save him till the end. So, let's start with the two books I have that are not by this main artist. The first one is called Nowhere on Earth. And it's got these crazy kids on the front cover. A terrifying glimpse of the future when there is barely enough space for one's body or mind. It's a fantasy novel by Michael Elder. I am completely unfamiliar with Michael Elder, but I like the cover of the book, and the blurb on the back looks interesting. So that's something that I will read eventually for the channel. The next book is Furthest by Suzette Hayden Elgin. Great cover art from the Ace Science Fiction Special series, and one that I am looking forward to checking out. Another writer I'm not familiar with. And that's it. That's all the E's I have that aren't specifically by this one author. I'm sure there are other artists that start with E out there in science fiction that I am missing. If you can think of any, let me know so I can keep my eye out for them. But for now, let's jump into the artist that we have been refusing to name, and that is, of course, Harlan Ellison. Harlan Ellison's, of course, one of the giants of science fiction. He was also kind of the bad boy of science fiction. For some odd reason, I always think of him as kind of the Marky Smith of science fiction. Marky Smith was the singer of The Fall, a punk band. If you're not familiar with it, that won't make any sense, but they seem similar to me, and they even look a little bit alike, which is interesting. Anyway, I have quite a few books by Harlan Ellison. So we'll start with Pain God and Other Delusions. This is a pyramid book. Very cool short stories. Here's one called Earthmen Go Home. 16 excursions into the far out zone. And I don't really know if Harlan Ellison did any novels. He's most known for his short stories. The short stories seem to be kind of the place that he shined the most. So this looks interesting. This is... just says Science Fiction Paperback Library. I'm not really familiar with this specific publisher, but there you go. Oh, the original title was Alice in Wonderland. This is a later printing of a very popular short story collection. His biggest, and of course my favorite short story by him, is I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. And I'm very happy to have this early pyramid copy. They're pretty rare now. So that's very cool. Really insanely dark story. Ellison went to places that I will admit can often be too dark for me. He could get hopeless at times. So yeah, I really like him, but I have to take him in small doses. But I think that this is probably his most famous short story collection. And here's a really interesting one. This is one called The Glass Teat. And I think this is more non-fiction. I haven't read it yet, but I think it's essays by him. And of course The Glass Teat is a reference to television. On the back it says, America, change it or lose it. So, looks very interesting. Another short story collection, Love Ain't Nothing But Sex Misspelled. Wild cover on that one. This is an Ace publication, and yeah, it's an interesting one. All these I look forward to checking out, but like I said, I take Harlan Ellison in small doses because his writing is so intense. It really is. Probably the most unique cover I've seen for him is Strange Wine. 15 stories from the night side of the world. Yeah, this is a collection of his short stories. The spine got faded, unfortunately. It's now this blue. It should be this brown. But yeah, it looks interesting. Definitely a different approach for Ellison. And I don't even know if he was the one that put this together or if somebody else was. This is a Warner book publication. This next book is probably the one that I'm going to crack next for Harlan Ellison because it's really interesting to me. It's Harlan Ellison writing short stories with other writers. And it's got quite a list. If you mix Ellison with wild talents like Zelazny, Sturgeon, Bova, Van Vogt, Davidson, Laumer, Hensley, Delaney, Sheckley, Silverberg, Block, Sleeser, I don't even know who that is, and Burtis. All these different artists working with Harlan Ellison. And I wonder how that will temper his writing style. So I think I'm going to jump into this soon just to see. Incredibly unread copy by Pyramid, first edition of this particular paperback version of this book. And my favorite part about it is that it is signed by Harlan Ellison. So I do have his signature, which is good. I'd like to have all the great signatures, or at least all my favorites have their signatures. So, all right, moving on to my hardbacks by Ellison. I have Approaching Oblivion. This is a nice hardback thin book, this one. I'm assuming short stories. Yep, short stories. This is a book club edition, but it is in really great condition. Here's a book called Deathbird Stories, another collection by Ellison, book club edition. I think they're all going to be short story collections. Here is Shatterday. I really like the cover on that one. This is a book club edition of that one. Next is Stalking the Nightmare. This is also a book club edition. Great art. I like this guy on the back a lot. And last but not least for Ellison, we have Alone Against Tomorrow, with a great author pick in the back. So yeah, mainly Ellison for E. Ton of Ellison books. If there's any E artists that I forgot, let me know in the comments. I think there's somebody with the last name Egan. Oh no, I do have some Egan in. Yeah, so of course, eventually we'll be doing those when we're done with all of these. I think there's a couple of Egans in there. But yeah, if there's any I've missed, let me know. And I'll be sure to give them a look. If there's anything you think I would love, let me know. All right, if you watched this video to the end, thank you very much. If you liked it, please click like. And if you like this kind of content, please subscribe. We'll be making a lot more of it in the future. And thank you so much for watching.